Before you say Douglas Luiz is a bench warmer at Nottingham Forest or a flop at Juventus, remember Douglas Luiz used to run things at Aston Villa. At one point, he was highly rated, one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. And don't forget, he's versatile. He can play as a central midfielder, defensive midfielder, and on very rare occasions as an attacking midfielder. So as you can see, he covers 3 positions and he is only coming in on loan. It's a quick fix to give Chelsea more depth and experience. Why does Chelsea want Douglas Luiz so badly?
Chelsea Football Club are interested in bringing Douglas Luiz, the Brazilian 27-year-old midfielder, to Chelsea on loan for the rest of the season. This has got to be because Romeo Lavia won't be able to play. We've only been hearing, we don't know how long it's going to be. Bringing in Douglas Luiz, a midfielder who is on loan from Juventus at Nottingham Forest right now. He's only featured 5 times this season for a team fighting relegation, and he can't get into the Nottingham Forest midfield.
Let me break it down for you. Welcome back, Chelsea fans. Tell me what country you are watching from right now, and don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe, because today we are diving deep into why Chelsea are desperate to bring in this Brazilian midfielder. First and foremost, injuries. Chelsea's depth in the midfield department is desperately weak, with Romeo, Lavia, and recently Dario Esugo now permanent residents of the medical room. Since signing for Chelsea in 2023 for £53 million from Southampton, Romeo Lavia has only played 30 games in almost 3 years. That's literally 10 games per season. 10 games. Let that sink in. And he hasn't even played 90 minutes in a single match because Chelsea keep managing his fitness, carefully easing him back, trying to protect him. Yet, he keeps going straight back to the hospital bed with a total of over 568 days missed and 87 plus matches missed through injury. The statistics are genuinely frightening. Lavia has suffered 10 different injuries since joining Chelsea. 10 separate injuries. He spent more time injured than he has healthy. He's never completed a full 90 minutes for the club. Not once. Think about that. You pay £53 million for a player, and he can't even last 90 minutes. His injury record reads like a medical textbook. Ankle injuries, hamstring problems, thigh strains, muscle issues, quadriceps injuries. Name it, and Lavia has probably had it. Then there's Dario Esugo, signed to be one of Chelsea's midfield depth options, but he hasn't played a single minute this entire season. Not 1 minute. And just when he started training with the first team again, after months out, building up his fitness, looking ready to contribute, he slipped during training and will now miss another month. You couldn't make this up if you tried. Chelsea's midfield injury crisis is like a bad comedy sketch at this point. Here's a question for you. Do you think Chelsea made a mistake signing Romeo Lavia for £53 million given his injury record? Be honest in the comments below. Second reason, squad depth. Chelsea desperately needs squad depth right now. Take a look at Arsenal as the perfect example of how depth should work. They have Martin Zubamendi, Declan Rice, and Martin Odegaard as their 3-man midfield. And their backups? Mikel Merino, Eberechi Eze, and Kasper Norgaard. That's 6 quality midfielders who can all play at the highest level. Arsenal can rotate freely without losing quality. Chelsea doesn't have that luxury. Chelsea needs depth for easy rotation as we enter the final crucial months of the season, and the Blues are currently competing in 4 separate competitions. They have the Premier League top 4 race to fight for, sitting 5th and desperately needing points. They have the Champions League to try and win, currently sitting 8th in the league phase and needing 1 more win to guarantee automatic qualification. They have the FA Cup to compete in after beating Charlton Athletic in the 3rd round. And they have the Carabao Cup semi-final 2nd leg against Arsenal to complete a comeback after losing 3-2 at Stamford Bridge in the 1st leg. 4 competitions, 4 different battlegrounds. And how many fit central midfielders does Chelsea have right now? 3. Moises Caicedo, Andre Santos, and Enzo Fernandez. That's it. Those are Chelsea's only available midfielders. Even captain Reece James has had to play in midfield on several occasions this season because the options are so limited. That's not sustainable. That's not how you win trophies. That's how you burn out your best players and collapse in March when it matters most. The fixture congestion is brutal. Chelsea could be playing 3 games per week until the end of the season if they progress in all competitions. Caicedo and Fernandes cannot play every single match. Their bodies will break down. They need rest. They need rotation. But who do you rotate them with when Lavia is injured again and Essigo can't even stay fit in training? Now here's another question. Which midfielder do you think is more important to Chelsea right now? Moises Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez? Drop your answer below. Third reason, Douglas Luiz is experienced and genuinely a good backup option. Yes, his career took a massive setback after leaving Aston Villa.
You've got this talent. How do you manage to score from a corner?
Yes, things didn't work out at Juventus despite the €50 million price tag. Yes, he's now struggling for minutes at Nottingham Forest under Sean Dyche. But let's not forget who Douglas Luiz actually is when he's playing well.
Douglas Luiz rode the wall, and there it is! And Watkins, and Douglas Luiz for Aston Villa, who take the lead.
And he'll try again. Douglas Luiz! And he's gone all the way in! Oh, wow! He's done it again!
And here's Watkins, saved by Steele. Douglas Luiz, it's in for 6. McGinn. Dia was screaming for it. This is Douglas Luiz, and Aston Villa get their second. Side of him, and Dina's lifted it in, and Alisson saves, and it's fallen in by Luiz. And Aston Villa strike from...
At Aston Villa, Douglas Luiz was absolutely phenomenal. During his 5 seasons at Villa Park from 2019 to 2024, he made 175 Premier League appearances. In those appearances, he scored 20 goals and provided 18 assists. That's 38 direct goal contributions from a defensive midfielder. That's elite level production. In the 2023 to 2024 season alone, his final season at Villa, he recorded 10 goals and 10 assists in 53 appearances across all competitions. 10 goals and 10 assists. That's world-class output for someone playing in a deeper midfield role. His performance during that campaign earned him both the Supporters Player of the Season and Players Player of the Season awards at Aston Villa. His teammates voted him the best player. The fans voted him the best player. This wasn't some average midfielder having an okay season. This was one of the Premier League's standout performers, helping Villa qualify for the Champions League for the first time in over 40 years. Douglas Luiz was doing everything at Villa. He topped their charts for tackles won with 38. He led them in recoveries with 184. He completed more passes than any Villa midfielder with 1,800 passes. He had more touches than any other Villa midfielder. He was press resistant, able to control games in the middle third, progress the ball forward with his carries and passing, and contribute in the final third with goals and assists. He was genuinely one of the most complete midfielders in the Premier League. So what can Douglas Luiz actually offer Chelsea if this loan move happens? Experience, first and foremost. He's 27 years old. He's played 175 Premier League games. He knows English football inside out. He's played in high-pressure matches, derbies, European nights. He's represented Brazil 18 times. He won a gold medal at the Olympics. He's competed in Copa America. This is not some inexperienced kid. This is a seasoned professional who has performed at the highest level. Versatility is another major asset. Douglas Luiz can play as a single pivot defensive midfielder, sitting deep and protecting the defense like Rodri does for Manchester City. He can play as a box-to-box midfielder, getting forward to support attacks and tracking back to defend. He can even play as a more advanced number 8, contributing goals and assists in the final third. Liam Rosinier's system at Chelsea requires intelligent midfielders who can adapt to different roles and phases of play. Douglas Luiz fits that profile perfectly. His passing ability is top class. He completed 54.1 passes per 90 minutes at Villa, the highest among their midfielders. He rarely loses the ball. He can play short, intricate passes to maintain possession, switch play with long diagonal balls, or thread through balls between the lines to create chances. His technical security is exactly what Chelsea needs when breaking down low-block teams that sit deep and compact. Defensively, he's strong and intelligent. He reads the game well, intercepts, passes, wins, tackles, and recovers possession in dangerous areas. He led Villa in counter-pressing situations, winning the ball back high up the pitch immediately after losing it. That intensity and aggression would fit perfectly into Rosenior's pressing system. Set pieces are another bonus. Douglas Luiz is excellent at delivering corners and free kicks. He scored one Premier League free kick at Villa and created numerous chances from dead ball situations. Chelsea's set-piece record under Maresca was pretty average. Adding someone with Luiz's delivery quality could genuinely add another dimension to their attack. The loan structure makes perfect sense for all parties involved. Juventus want him to play more because he's barely featuring. Nottingham Forest aren't giving him regular minutes under Sean Dyche, having started just 2 league games since October. Chelsea need immediate midfield reinforcements without committing to a permanent transfer in January. And Douglas Luiz himself wants to play football and rebuild his reputation after a difficult 18 months. Reports suggest Nottingham Forest could terminate his loan early to allow him to join Chelsea on loan from Juventus for the remainder of the season. Forest hold a £26 million option to buy, which seems unlikely to be triggered given his lack of playing time. Juventus would be happy to see him get minutes elsewhere. Chelsea would get an experienced Premier League midfielder who knows English football. Now let me ask you this final question. If Douglas Luiz joins Chelsea, do you think he will be a success or another expensive mistake? Give me your honest prediction in the comments. The reality is, Chelsea are in a midfield crisis, and Douglas Luiz represents a low-risk solution. He's only coming on loan, no permanent commitment, no massive transfer fee. Just 6 months to prove himself, help Chelsea compete for trophies, and provide the depth Rosenior desperately needs. If it works out, maybe they explore making it permanent in the summer. If it doesn't, he goes back to Juventus and Chelsea, try something else. But based on what Douglas Luiz did at Aston Villa for 5 seasons, based on his quality when fit and confident, based on his experience and versatility, this could genuinely be a smart piece of business. Sometimes players need a fresh start. Sometimes they need a new environment to rediscover their form. Maybe Chelsea and Liam Rosenior are exactly what Douglas Luiz needs right now. And maybe, just maybe, Douglas Luiz is exactly what Chelsea needs to get through this brutal run of fixtures and compete for silverware this season. The quality is there, the experience is there, the versatility is there. Now it's just about whether he can stay fit, regain confidence, and show everyone why he was once considered one of the Premier League's best midfielders. So Chelsea fans, what do you think about this potential move? Excited, worried, skeptical? Let me know in the comments, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Keep the blue flag flying high.